All right, good morning. Good morning. What you can do is just continue working on the activity we started yesterday, the entomology lab. I'll pull it up in just a second, letting people in. Still have quite a few. Oh, all right, we got almost everybody here, so I'm going to re-explain this just in case there was someone who wasn't here yesterday. So the assignment is um, on your homepage. It's got two parts to it. Most of you were able to finish the first part yesterday. So the first part was to download the worksheet and complete everything up until you get to crime scene creatures. You're going to get all that information by looking at the PowerPoint, which you might have had to open up and download into your Google Slides. All right, so the answers to the first page come from, and if it ever opens, from this PowerPoint. And when you get to the end of this PowerPoint, that's the crime scene activity. So you'll notice the same picture here is going to be on your next step. So you're not going to, so the next step after this is to close this. And then you want to download the next worksheet so that you can answer the virtual lab part of it. So you'll use this to fill in your answers from the virtual lab. Question 2, I'm going to tell you there are two insects. So you need to not only name the two insects, it asks you to explain why you pick those two that are not going to be used in the lab. And then you want to, before you put anything on this for number 3, you want to have read all of the insects and looked at which one is going to, this has to be in order of the insect from the earliest arrival to the one that's going to arrive the latest. Okay. And based on that, you are going to estimate the PMI. So you need to know what PMI is, or the estimated time of death. They got TOD there. That's time of death. All right, so for that, you want to look at the virtual lab. And again, you can open this in Google Slides as well. All right. So again, we have that same picture. So the other worksheet asks you what was the crime, and you don't have to fill in that section of that worksheet because we're not I'm not grading that, but you're gonna, for that particular activity, you want to go use the other worksheet. However, the first question on the other one says, what was the crime? The crime is a fatal gunshot wound to the chest, which indicates a homicide. So that's the crime. And then you are going to be looking at trying to estimate the post-mortem interval, which is your PMI. And you're going to do that by, now, if this was on a virtual thing, because there is a way to do that. Actually, I'll try to give you the link for the virtual one too, but where you can roll over each item and it gives you, but instead, this particular person has gone ahead and done this for you. So if you were rolling over each item, it would tell you what each item is used for. Okay, so this is what you have to make a list of. They don't want you to write everything. For trial, there's not much that you can't shorten that very much. But some of these long ones, you only need the first sentence. You don't need to write everything down. You just need to know what the tool is and what it's used for. And here's the information for the weather equipment. All right, so that's the first part of the worksheet. Then again, if you were on the website, you would scroll over each of these and it would tell you what each insect does. So for that, so you're not going to hit continue, you're just going to continue rolling down. And they have listed all of the insects for you. So read all of them first, decide which two are not going to help you, and then you want to decide time-wise which ones arrive first and which ones will arrive last, and how is that going to help you determine time of death. All right, so then they go through this part right here, and based on the way you've listed your worksheet, you have to, in your expert opinion, determine the time of death or the PMI. Okay, and that's the end of that worksheet. All right, so hopefully you got the first page done yesterday and that you can use today to work on this second page. Come on. And again, you try to download these into your Google Slides. I do need you just to, I don't need the PowerPoints back. I just need the two worksheets back. Send those both back in the same folder. So when you hit submit, when I hit submit, right, you want to upload both files in the same, at the same time. Both the first worksheet and the second one. All right, any questions? Okay, thank you for letting me know. All right, so as far as Canvas is concerned, we are um, technically in the unit that says how insects aid in investigations. So if you finish early, you can read that page over. And the page for common insects of death. right, so if you read those two, uh, when we come back from break, we'll just do the wrap up and have a short quiz on this. That technically the activity that you're doing is kind of like the major end of unit activity. And we'll do the wrap up when we come back from our break, kind of to remind you. And after that, I think we need to start looking at preparing for the end of term exams, which I believe start, I forget the definite dates. It's going to be certain tests are on certain days, so I'll get that schedule again. And that's probably what we'll do. After we wrap this up, we'll just do a general review of the whole semester in preparation for the end of term exam. Okay, so that's a heads up. All right, so do make sure that this is completed before Friday. Technically, try to do it today, but make sure that it's uploaded before Friday. All right, I do see a couple of people who are idle. Hopefully you're working on it somewhere else. And again, folks, use class time for class work so that you don't have late assignments. All right, Abigail, you with us? The Danian, are you with us? Thank you. I see you. Again, if you finish and submitted your work for this activity, please read those 2 pages. The module wrap up. This is the last activity for this unit. I will get all grades caught up by Friday, 3 o'clock. So if you have anything outstanding, please make sure that it is completed by 3 o'clock on Friday. I think it's interesting how when I mark people absent, all of a sudden they show up to class. For those of you who just joined, we are working on completing the assignment. Oh, Okay. Um, Let me see. Xavier, um, hmm. I think the thing that you need to do with that is to download it to Google Slides, if I'm not mistaken. So, and you want to do the same thing with this activity that we're doing today too, because that's kind of a PowerPoint as well. So the bones activity was a PowerPoint, and this is an PowerPoint activity as well. Try um, downloading it. When you open it and they ask you how you want to download it to your Google Slides. I don't have a Chromebook, so I'm not exactly sure how to what to tell you other than that. Is anybody else working on a Chromebook that might be able to tell you how to download to Xavier's having trouble downloading the Bones assignment because he's working on a Chromebook. Can anybody help with that? Okay, nobody? Okay. Xavier, try that and let me know how that works. Okay, great. And do the same thing with the exercise that we're doing today. Both of those are slides, so download it into Google Slides. Glad that worked. Curtis, I don't know what you're doing, but it isn't forensics. Kenzie, do you know what we're doing? 'Cause I know you came in late. We're finishing up the forensic entomology activity. Again, folks, you shouldn't work on other people's work unless you finish this one. So your assignment isn't in today. You should be working on this one and not. Jonathan, they're completing the entomology virtual lab, which we started yesterday. And Jonathan, you may need to download the PowerPoints in Google Slides. All right, everybody still okay? Anybody having any troubles uploading, downloading, coming to a conclusion? All right, again, if you've already uploaded your work, please make sure that 3 pages and Canvas. Do the wrap-up activity. And we will do a short quiz when you come back. We'll do a wrap-up and a quiz when you come back. And then we'll start reviewing for the final exam. So we're going to go back through the whole unit. So you can start doing that too. Go back through the whole unit because we've done a lot. So it's kind of a big test coming up. So the equipment is the tools used to collect, yes. All right, and again on that worksheet, it wants you to, let me, hold on, I'm not there, I was grading. Give me a minute to get back to that page. All right, on the question on your worksheet that says tools used to collect, again, you don't have to write everything, but you want to really just look at this slide and summarize, or these 2 slides, because the weather one is on the second page. So kind of summarize. With trowel, you can't make that any shorter. Forceps, you can't make that shorter, and hand neck, you can't make that shorter. But with the others, you basically just want to um, give a short version of what they should be. Okay. And then again, after that, this is saying, scroll over the thing, but this is a slide, so it's not the interactive one. So you simply want to go down and read each slide first, maybe make some side notes as to which one you think is first, second, and third. There are 2 of them that are of no use to you at all. So you want that's the answer to question 2, I believe. And then question 3, put the insects in order of who arrived first and who's going to arrive last. And based on your time of arrival, then you can guesstimate how many days it took. How many days was this body exposed before it was found? That's your post-mortem interval. Okay, on the worksheet, they said TOD, that's time of death. This is the same thing as postmortem interval. We're not exactly we're guesstimating a time of death based on the insects. Remember, you can't get an exact time using insects, but you can get an approximate time based on when these different forms of insects arrived on the body. Okay, that's what this is. Again, please ask questions if you have a problem, if you're not sure what you should write. Okay, folks, if you have no questions for me, it's time to go. You enjoy your Thanksgiving and see you in December. Have a good one. Bye bye.